Hey BBs, it's me, your favorite auntie Marjon Carlos, and this is your favorite auntie show, powered by Cash App. This is a new kind of advice show brought to you by someone you actually listen to. Step into my proverbial living room every week for on the pulse cultural commentary, hard to hear advice, and must hear interviews with some of the biggest names in fashion, media, entertainment, and beyond. It's enlightening, fun, stylish, and a little messy, just like your favorite auntie. On today's episode, I'm joined by my guest, influencer and talk show host, Jenee Naylor. If you remember, Jenee was on the show back when we were an IGTV show, and I love her energy and style. A Sag and one of the biggest influencers working right now, she's a baddie and a CEO. We're going to be unpacking the world of influencing, fashion's hottest topics, and so much more. But before we get into all that, Auntie's got to pay a bill. Your rich auntie remembers when she got her first debit card as a teen. It was my first taste of financial freedom and power, and I put it to work at the mall. Yes, the mall. But the debit card has evolved, and nowadays the kids can do more than just spend with theirs. The Cash App card offers a new generation of shoppers even more benefits than the power of the swipe. Enjoy perks like discounts at your favorite shops and exclusive access to concert pre-sale and special events. I would have killed for this kind of tech. Get in, kids, we're going shopping. That's money, that's Cash App. Download Cash App from the App Store or Google Play Store today. And we're back, and I'm excited to introduce my guest, Jenee Naylor. Though she's no stranger to her nearly 1 million followers, here's a quick rundown of her CV. Jenee Naylor is a fashion expert, beauty enthusiast, TV host, and content creator who truly is the definition of making it. Jenee has been a lifelong fan of fashion and spent her early career working as a store manager at Target, while also blogging under the name High Low Lux. After years of building up her side hustle, she took the leap and became a full-time fashion content creator, going to fashion weeks across the globe and always being photographed for her scene-stealing looks. Most recently, Jenee launched season 3 of her show Style Unlocked, which I was a guest on last year. Please welcome Jenee Naylor to the podcast. Okay, hi.
Hi.
Don't be quiet.
Did you like that? That was my, I don't know what that was. I don't even know who that was. My voice is getting warmed up.
Okay, great. I was like, one thing you're not is, this is a cold open. One thing you're not is quiet.
Yeah. I don't know what that was. I'm so sorry. It's the new space. It feels very like
a cavernous.
Yeah, like
feeling.
I should be like.
Okay,
you
I'm
know?
giving you. Give me your bedroom voice. I love it.
Focus. Okay.
Okay, I'm sorry.
I'm gonna get serious.
Hi, how are you?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm good. I'm glad to see you.
Miss you.
I miss you too. I feel like, when I do
know.
get my little Jenee moments.
It's never enough.
It's never enough.
You need to be more intentional. I blame you.
I would like you to move to New York, but
we can't have everything we want.
Okay.
Okay. Moving on then.
You're like, next. But every time you're here, we should definitely, or when we can, we should make an effort of it.
Agreed.
For a key. But we have today, and you look great.
Thank you.
What is this coat? What are you wearing?
This is from the Kimmy store.
Okay.
It's a UK brand.
Okay.
Leather. I love it. It's so comfortable.
It's so beautiful.
It's so beautiful.
The construction of it is
perfect.
It's so perfect. It's so tailored.
I love a shoulder.
But
I also didn't want to put it in I didn't want to be uncomfortable. I want it to be cozy still.
Absolutely.
It's very soft, plush.
It's like when I hugged you, I was like, ooh.
And then just a bodysuit.
This
for maximum comfort.
You've been wearing this a lot.
Yeah, because I'm lazy.
No, but you do it in a way that makes it feel very
I'm basic.
Put together. Exactly. It's not basic.
Yeah.
It's not some.
Oh, thank you. I try.
Yes, and then you had something on your face when you came in. There were some sunglasses.
Oh, yeah, that's a secret.
Do you want to drop the embargo?
Not yet.
Okay, well,
Stay tuned.
I got a scoop.
Yeah, you do.
Okay,
you do.
You'll drop it when you drop it. The boots are cute too. What are the boots?
Thank you. They are very old. D squared. I believe.
Period. You like D squared.
Yeah.
Yeah, you like
They're
the
fun.
Italians.
I do.
You do. Are you going to Milan?
No,
okay.
But that's my favorite fashion week.
Is it?
Yeah, but I have a cruise and they're paying, so I gotta go.
You're going on a cruise?
Yeah, for work.
Okay, we were just talking about this because we know you don't vacation.
I know.
So this is I'm happy for you.
Me too. I prefer cruises. I used to cruise a lot before COVID. So I was like, you know what, we're going to do a vacation. I was looking at cruises, and these people reached out. And I said, I would have just went for free. Do you want to give me some money too? Let's go.
Let's go. Where you go? Can you tell us where you're going, or you want to keep it a little secret?
No, I mean, I don't really remember. I didn't really care. I think Jamaica.
Okay. So you're going to the Caribbean.
Like the usual, yeah.
Okay.
Down there.
Mm-hmm. Well, so you're getting in your fashion week now.
Yeah.
Before you're going.
Yeah.
Okay.
But this is all I'm doing. Which is enough.
Which is enough. I think right now the world's crazy, and like it feels weird to go from like fashion week.
Even leading up to it, I was just like, oh, it's in 2 days. I have done nothing, which is not my usual. Like usually I'm like, got a rack prepped. And
it's like, how do you
in the zone
prep for fashion week?
I usually just put all my ideas on a rack.
Right.
Just like inspo, things I want to wear, things I'm excited about. And then I try all the ideas on and see what actually pans out.
Yeah.
And then repeat that cycle over and over again until we get to like a decent number of like options. Yeah.
Do you have a certain number of outfits per day or no?
No, because usually most shows will give me a loan. Period. So the outfits are kind of like this, like the other things that come up.
Right.
Where I'm just like, these are things I just really want to wear if an event or something happens. Or, the option from the loan just not doing what I needed to do.
That's my problem. Sometimes when I get a loan, I'm like, I have hips. So I don't know why you're sending me this.
Yeah. It will serve you some humble pie, really.
It really
really quick. That's like the only thing that keeps me in check. I'm like, you're going to be trying on some samples here pretty soon.
You're going to be called dead a porte.
Do you want to have a good time or do you want to cry?
Exactly. So I'm just like, okay, well, next. Let's move it on. I didn't get to see you at CJR, which is kind of crazy. I saw your husband at CJR. I came a little late, but I did see what you wore, which was beautiful.
Thank you.
Was that on loan or was that yours? Yeah, that was from the archive.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, period.
Because I just collect his things. That's just like special things. So it was a white dress that I wore for my birthday 2 years ago.
I remember this.
And then the jacket on top, I just never worn. I hadn't worn yet. Yeah. I think I bought it in the fall 2024. Yeah, I bought it from Shop McMullen.
From
where?
I
was just Shop McMullen.
Oh, Shop McMullen. Okay, yeah, of course.
And it just, shout out. His pieces I don't like to rush. I don't like to be thirsty. I'm like, every time I put it on, I was like, this isn't, the outfit's not giving. I don't have it yet. Yes. Let's just wait.
Okay.
And then we waited, and that's what we got.
It was great. You look beautiful.
But I tried to wear it so many times, and I was like, it's giving basic.
And then you're like, I'm going to throw on a ball gown skirt. Go back and look. We'll put a pop-up. She looked really amazing.
And I felt amazing.
That's
what his clothes do.
That's what's the most important thing is because fashion weeks are so intense. Yeah. You have to feel good when you're when you're leaving the door and you're like, I'm that bitch.
Yeah.
I'm that, don't.
Especially when rooms like that, I don't have a lot of familiar faces.
I was about to say, I was like, I know you. Obviously, you live in Virginia or more DC.
Yeah.
Okay. DMV.
Yeah.
But you come to New York a lot, and now you've done how many New York Fashion Weeks at this point? You've crazy.
Since hardcore since 2021.
Okay, and so that's
that many. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like I'm surprised by that.
Yeah.
But so you're learning new people's names and faces and gaining all the relationships and everything.
Yeah, it's just certain, and I say familiar faces, I saw a lot of people I know, but not my tightest circle. You would have been probably one of the closest people if we would have actually seen each other. Just because the really, really big shows, it's more gate kept. It's just less.
It is.
Of just everyone you know.
Yeah.
So when it's like big shows like that, it's just less familiar faces. But it's still, I saw Sherry from Shop McMullen. I saw some writers.
Yes.
I would have saw you.
I know.
A few photographers I know. But not as, there's certain spaces I go in where I'm there's 30 people I know.
Right. No, I get it. I totally get it. I really do.
Just a little different.
I get it. But you are becoming a familiar face.
You are
becoming a familiar face.
I'm trying my best.
You are. You're putting in the work. I want to go back.
Oh.
Because before we
journey.
I want to talk about the style icon in the making.
Oh my God.
Let's do it.
Okay.
Because I feel like people know your story and we see you now on the front row at fashion shows and doing the damn thing and putting out the product lines and all these types of things. But who was little Jenee? I want to. Don't cry.
I know.
I just want to know who was little Jenee and where you grew up, and like what were your first like touch points with fashion when you were growing up?
Well, I grew up in St. Louis, Missouri. A lot of people don't know that. They think I'm from DC. I've just lived there a long time. They're always like, repping DC. I'm like, actually, no. I love St. Louis. That's where I'm from. And yeah, I always knew I would do something creative.
Right.
But I never knew what the thing was. Unfortunately, I'm a Sagittarius who happens to be good at everything. Oh.
Wow, that was
no shade.
Okay, it's Nicki Minaj.
No,
I'm
just saying that makes it very hard to like narrow in on focus of right. Oh, this is going to be my job. Like I always admired people that were like, oh, I'm going to be this when I grow up. I'm like, I want to be all the things. Like for half my life, I was a dancer, and I was like, I'm going to be a backup dancer. Yeah.
Wait, what? Like ballet, jazz?
Yeah, all of it. Hip hop, everything. So like while I was in high school, I was going to move to LA and be a dancer in videos. Yeah. That was literally I took dance every day.
Every day?
Yeah. I went to a performing arts school. So that was...
Really?
Yeah.
You were like
and fashion was also a major there, but my major was dance.
I did not know that, Jenee.
Oh, surprise.
Wait, so you're really, like, you at a party or, like, you're a good time?
If I have enough drinks. You know.
Okay, tea.
So yeah, that was, and then I went to college. Well, actually I took a year off before I went to college.
Okay.
And I was like, yeah, I'm just really not into dance anymore. I want to be a makeup artist. So
okay, your makeup is always on point.
So then I tried to be a makeup artist. That wasn't really working. Then I was like, I'm going to be a stylist. It was like every career that I kind of like found out about. I was like, oh, I like that too.
Yeah.
And I'm oh, that's how, those are the people that do the clothes of the magazine. Okay, I'm going to be a stylist.
Right.
But I was in Missouri. So I didn't know, like, how do people do that? Mm-hmm. So then I would just, like, try to work on, like, with creatives locally and, like, styling people. And I was like...
Oh, really?
Yeah. And then my mom was like, you could just go to college until you figure it out. Because nothing was really happening after that first year.
Okay, Mom.
And I had a good opportunity for a school. So she was just, like, always letting me do my thing.
Which we love.
She was like, this is still over here. Yeah. Doesn't mean... So then I went to college. And then...
In St. Louis?
In Missouri.
Missouri, okay.
And then I changed my major 3 times again. I just could not.
What's your
So my major was dance.
Because you're... Okay, so you were a dance major.
Yeah, because that's what it was a scholarship from my high school.
This is fascinating. I'm sorry. I
know, we've never got this deep.
No, I did not know that you were a dance major.
Yeah.
Okay. So you... Okay.
Yeah.
Dance
major, but I was like, I know I'm not into dance, but that's what it has to be for me to get the scholarship.
Okay.
And then I was like, okay, I think I found out about marketing.
Okay.
And I was like, I'm very creative. I always have ideas. I love commercials. That's what I'm gonna do.
Right.
Marketing. And then I took a few marketing classes for like a year. Yeah. I was like, this is good. And then I found out about journalism. And I was like, the people that write for the magazines. Listen, it's been a... And then I was like, I went to change my major, and my counselor was like, listen, do you want to be a freshman again?
Wow.
And I was like, no. She was like, so we can't do that. And I was like, okay, well, so marketing it is.
Marketing it, okay.
And I did a focus on fashion merchandising. So that's what.
So it's all working now. It's all like.
And I'm using all.
Yes.
It all makes sense now, but back then I was just like, I don't know what the job is going to be. And I graduated and I worked. While I was in college, I worked at Aldo Shoes.
I mean,
and I was like an assistant manager, and I loved that job. And I was like, okay, I'm really good at like selling things and helping people. And I worked at Nordstrom in college, and I was styling people. And I was like, okay, I like this. I'm good at this. And then I was recruited to work at Target.
Right.
And they just paid a lot of money. And I was like, you know what? I'm a grown up now.
And you were recruited to move to the DMV area?
No, I started in St. Louis at a Target there.
Okay.
And then I just transferred.
Okay, gotcha.
Because I always knew I wanted to leave St. Louis.
Right.
As great as it is.
I know.
But I just knew there was more, and I wasn't going to figure it out living there.
Yeah. Who were like some of your fashion muses at that time as you were like figuring it out? And you were like, maybe I could do this, and maybe I could do that. I mean,
back then it was really Rachel Zoe and June Ambrose.
Because those were the girls.
They were.
And that still are.
And especially, still are. But especially in Missouri, like all I had was TV and magazines.
Yeah.
So those are the people where I was like, I like this job. I'd like to do that job. But I don't know how, and I think I need to get out of here to figure it out.
And I think that they were the first public facing representatives of styling.
Yeah.
Because styling had before been such a BTS, like almost gatekept career, you know? And I think they were like, no, I'm styling Missy, I'm styling Jay-Z, I'm styling Rachel.
It opened my whole world.
Nicole Richie or whomever. Yeah, like they were just as big as the people that they were styling. Yeah, they're fab.
I know. Still.
No, there's like, I saw June at a dinner and I was like, I remember when you used to do these fitness videos in your heels. She was like, oh, you know, so I was like, oh yeah, but like you probably were watching those videos at that time, and you were like, yes. So then, as you were watching these women do these things, and you were trying to figure out like how you were gonna merge this into a career, how did you start using fashion to kind of express what was going on internally?
Well, I kind of once I got to Target, and I was like, you know what, this is a good place to work.
Yeah.
So how do I bring them together? Yeah. Right. So that's when they were also rolling out a lot of things in like the fashion department at Target, right? Okay. Doing like the collections with people, but also just like there were opportunities. Merchandising became a big priority to make things look good in stores. Mm-hmm. So then new positions started opening up. Mm-hmm. So I ran a store. I was like an assistant manager. Then I opened a store. Then I ran a store for a few years. And then I was focused on a new role, which was like the merchandising director over our group, which would be 75 stores, but you are in charge of like how things look in stores, just focused on clothing, right? So every collection, the mannequins, the windows, and I was like, okay, here we go. This is my job. So yeah, that was my idea of like, I can stay here. I mean, in my mind, I was going to be the CEO eventually.
Well, you told me that before, and I was like,
but I was like, this is how I like.
Never. Yeah, I mean, I think
But I was like, this is how I fulfill myself.
Yeah,
But then at the same time, I also Instagram started.
Right.
And I was like, oh, I'm just going to share my outfits. I would just share them on the weekends. I was off every other weekend.
And were you shopping at Target for your clothes, or were you shopping everywhere? Yeah. Okay.
I mean, I really like only shopped at Zara, H&M, and Target.
Yeah. Yeah.
When I started posting on Instagram.
Yeah.
Those were pretty much all my clothes. And Zara was like, this is special.
I mean, tea.
I mean, I think like the shirts were like $60. That was a lot to me. Oh, and Forever 21. I shopped there too.
No, I hear you.
Yeah.
I definitely hear you. When I moved to New York, I was like, oh my God, there's like access to Zara.
I had to shop it out of town when I lived in St. Louis.
Yeah. These stores were I know they seem so mass and like ubiquitous now, but like, I don't know, 10 years ago, more so, like probably 15.
Yeah.
They just really were not around.
I remember the first Forever 21 store that opened
in your area. Yeah.
And I was like, I love this store.
It was, which is so, and I remember also feeling the same way about the one on Union Square.
Yeah.
And being like, this is so, because there was so much access to fashion. Access. Because I also come from like, not a small town, but like it's removed from fashion. So you're like, oh my gosh, this is like something where I can go daily.
It's like what you
weekly.
see in them. I literally would be like, I need something to wear to school tomorrow. Yes. My mom would be like, okay, let's go to Forever 21. Like, I just need a shirt, girl. Help me out.
And before you really didn't have like you had TJ Maxx, you had Ross, you had Macy's, but like there wasn't something that felt like
what you see in the magazines. Like
that's what it is.
That's what it was.
Yeah,
like oh, I can recreate that look.
Yeah,
I need to go to Forever 21.
It's a Celine knockoff or whatever knockoff.
They had all the dupes.
They still do.
They still do.
They still take the dupes now. Okay, so this is how you're like culling your fashion style, and now you're like at all the fashion shows all over the world. You're in New York, you're in London, you're in Paris, you're in Copenhagen. Like, what are your faves and why?
Fashion weeks.
Copenhagen
is my number one.
Period.
It is the most inspiring. It's the most fun. Everyone's so nice. I think that's what people say, but it's really like shocking to see. Like it shouldn't be shocking, but in the fashion space it's like wow, you want me to be here at the door, like you're so not, even if you can't find my name, there must be an issue
right
that you're gonna figure out for me. Thank you so much. And the no one looks the same.
I would agree.
It's so totally like just so much to soak in where you're like, oh my God, look, like I don't think I saw the same, like two people in the same pair of shoes. It's just so inspiring. Like you leave there like fueled up creatively.
I believe it. Like from the pictures, it just seems like everyone's more Like they're ready to take a risk.
Yeah.
And I just have to say this very plainly. I just feel like white women are wearing color there.
Oh yeah. And it's just not that serious.
It's just,
like we're all here doing a job, but it's not that serious.
Yeah.
And like we can just like, we know what it is, but we also know it's just clothes.
It's just clothes at the end of the day. We love it, and we treasure them. Yeah. But it's like the pretension is like what I think
there's none of that. There's none of that
from the experience. Yeah.
That's amazing. And even if you don't get into something, like it just doesn't feel that like tinge of like judgment or like
I hear you.
You're not good. It's just like, oh, okay. You don't know, like there's a reason that I'm not in that show. So that's my number one.
Yeah. I believe it.
Milan is probably those are the shows I love the most.
Yeah.
And the brands I love the most.
Yeah.
Like they're just it's just so my vibe. Roberto Cavalli. It's just so.
Oh, you're like such a Cavalli girl.
I am. Yeah. And that's like so 2000s. It's just like so 90s, 2000. It's like I'll take it all.
No, I could see that.
Yeah.
I think of like Beyonce, Cavalli.
Yeah.
I feel like those two, and Jennifer Lopez, and I feel like I could see you in like all those dresses.
And Aaliyah.
Oh yes, with the long dress.
Yeah.
Yeah, and she like it was.
But she used to wear like little suits from them. Oh.
Okay, come on, archive.
Though I thought I was gonna be her backup dancer, so
that's amazing. Jenee, I'm never gonna get over that.
I know.
I'm gonna make you bust a move.
Do you want my fun fact? Anytime I'm like, you have to go around and tell your fun fact.
Yeah.
Mine is that I opened for Destiny's Child.
What?
When I was in a dance group.
Wait, how old were you?
I had to be like 14 or 15. They were probably like 17 or 18.
Right.
Yeah. And we won a dance competition, and the prize was you get to open
That's so cool.
Yeah, and we got to meet them.
I love that.
Yeah. Good times. We've been tight for so long, me and Beyonce. Yeah, so long.
I know you were her first call.
Since we were literally children.
Album of the year. I'm obsessed. That's so fun. I'm never going to forget that. I'm going to make you do a move for me at some point. Gotcha. Were there some, along these fashion weeks, did you have some Cinderella stories, some horror stories, some lessons learned?
So many horror stories. But...
And
the one that always sticks out, and it isn't actually about a brand, it's just the experience, which is why I operate so differently now.
Okay.
And I think it's something a lot of people don't realize is that most people that are getting into shows have PR that help them get into shows.
Right.
So you are paying someone to work on your behalf. And when I wanted to take Fashion Week seriously, that was a suggestion, which is obviously, like you're trying to go to all the cities. You don't want to waste your money. You want someone to be poaching the brands and helping you get in. Right. And my PR at the time, and this is, I think, a general across the board, it's not specific to this PR, but obviously they were working for me. Mm-hmm. But the consensus is you do have to be a certain type of person to get into a lot of shows, and specifically a specific type of Black person to get into shows. So that was like eye-opening, and they were trying to be as politically correct in the feedback, because I'm also a very like strategic person. Yeah. I don't like to waste my time. I like to know like, okay, so what do we need to do? Okay, this is the goal. I want to, go to these shows. What do I need to do? What are they looking for? Why are people saying no? But that feedback is not as cut and dry as you would think. It's like,
because they're trying to find some words.
Can you just like not be so Black? Right, but like, how do I say that to you? So it's like,
what did they say? Can you remember?
At first, it was just kind of like it was like you feel more like a client than, you want to come off as a friend of the house, and not a client, which means you buy things. Which I'm like, oh, is that a bad thing? So, and then the next feedback was like, maybe you should stop making content in your closet because it just looks like you have so much. And I'm like, you mean like every person on the internet?
Right, exactly.
And I'm like, okay. They're like, yeah, it's just like all the bags behind you, like. They like brands want to feel like they're going to send you something and you're just going to wear whatever they send you, which is not the case for me. It wouldn't be the case, but okay, we can make them feel like that, I guess.
Yeah.
And then it was, and while I'm getting this feedback, they're also in tandem, very honestly saying like, we understand your influence. Yeah. Like you are probably the most influential person we represent as far as like engagement, like the people that follow you, like how tapped in people are. But these brands don't care about that. Like, that's great, but that's also not what's gonna get you into these shows. So here's what we need to do.
Yeah.
And then it was like, can you just like wear less color? Can you just tone it down? Maybe
Quiet
don't
luxury.
wear sunglasses. Maybe
Not
don't
sunglasses.
But it was just like any, like it would be like after
so
a show or after a day of shows, like looking at my feed and being like, yeah, maybe like less of this. And then like our last meeting, which was like the last meeting for a reason, was just like, it's just so much.
What year was this, Jenee?
This is not that long ago. This was probably 2022. It was the last time I went to Milan and Paris.
Okay, because I wanted to I had look just, at the feed. See, like,
which
what was,
if you really...
It was so crazy.
And before that, I was working with someone else who was telling me to stand out more. So at this point, I was just like really over it because I'm like, this is a mind fuck. And exactly. I'm like, this isn't fun anymore. I'm overthinking it. At one point, I was too businessy. Yeah. And I needed to make my clothes feel cooler. Right. But then it was too much. Right. And I need to... So now I'm like getting dressed and I'm like, okay, is this too cool? Is this cool enough? Is this too... And I'm like, but also I'm wearing a suit from Frankie Shop, and if this was a white woman, this would be the best fucking thing since sliced bread. So is that really the thing? But our last meeting, I came downstairs. I had on probably just like black leggings. It was like a travel day. Yeah. Black leggings, a black turtleneck, and I had on a Dries Van Noten coat. Yeah. My zebra coat. The chicest coat I own. Yeah. And just like some flat black boots. This is a very simple but fabulous outfit. Yeah. She's like, I mean, like this. It's just a lot.
That's so...
and I was just like...
I'm not surprised. But...
This is blowing me. She's like, I know your people like that.
Wow.
But it's just really a lot. And I was like... And again,
this is
she's trying...
You're paying. Yeah. That's the craziest part.
But she also is... They were also very honest. With we know this isn't right or fair. All I can do is tell you what it is. Yeah. You can play the game or you cannot play the game. She's not making the rules. She's just telling you what the rules are. Right. So it wasn't like a personal attack. Like, these people thought I was great, but she's also the one sending the emails and then getting the feedback or getting the no and getting the rejection. So she's like, I can tell you what works for people that look like you. And this is typically what it is. And they would show me other people's feeds. Like, one person they showed me and I was like...
Another black person or another white? Okay.
And I was like, what? All that helped it soak in, where I was like, I'm never going to be that. Right. Also, their followers are fake. So... But we don't...
It's so
and they knew that. They're that doesn't matter. Brands don't care.
They're still getting
and I was like,
and they're getting a seat.
But why it matters to me is that the things you're asking me to do, I'm talking to real people. Yeah. Right? She's not. So she can go put on whatever. Yeah. People, these people will talk to me. Right. And I'll have to explain myself to them because I'm not speaking into the void.
People are super engaged. Your audience are super engaged.
So that really, I was like, you know what? And this is after 2 years of going strong with fashion months and spending a ridiculous amount of money.
I was just about to say, I feel like this is when the moment comes when you're I'm really paying a lot of money, and in the interim, I'm losing a lot of myself.
And I left there because after that, I had to go to Paris. Okay. But after that, I just would leave so deflated. Right. And feeling like, very opposite of Copenhagen, where I'm like, oh, I can't wait to get home. And like, I feel like, ready to just create outfits and looks and content. I would feel like, maybe I'm just not it. Maybe I just don't got it. Or maybe, what can I do better next time? Maybe I need to overhaul my wardrobe. Maybe. It was so defeating. And I was just like, this ain't it. And also, none of this is bringing me income.
Well, see, that's
or helping my business.
I was really curious about like how these things start to not only solidify you as a style authority, but also help bring in and generate income. Because there's like a couple friends of mine are always like, if it doesn't make me sexier, if it doesn't make me richer, I'm not going. So I'm like, period.
And there was a goal, right? Like, initially the point was, it does elevate your brand.
Yes, it does.
Even if I'm not, even if Paris Fashion Week is not paying me to be there, there are brands that know I will be at Paris Fashion Week that want to be affiliated with people that will be at Paris Fashion Week. So it'll be the random things, right? A lotion, a lotion company, a razor company will be like, can you just get ready for Fashion Week and use that razor? Can you get ready and put these shoes on? We just want to elevate our brand, and we know you are in the mix and do the thing. So it does bring in income that way.
Yeah.
And then for just other opportunities, it's like, oh, you're a mover and a shaker. You're always, places to be, and you do the things. So that was the initial goal. And for me, I'm a competitive person. So I'm also like...
No, you don't say.
I know. I'm like, if they're there, then I should be there.
No, but I also think about
because it's a part of my
too.
job, and I deserve to be there too.
I think that I don't know if that's competitiveness as much as it's like you're a strategist.
Yeah.
And I think that's about brand alignment. Because
Absolutely.
I often will see, and I'm, to be honest, non-Black women who don't have the same impact as me getting ahead and faster in ways that literally make me want to
spiral
out. And I'm like, you guys have got to be kidding me. And I don't know what to do at this point, but I just keep going.
Especially when there's like, again, I like a strategy. So when you tell me there's a system and a game to play, I can play a game. Come on.
Right.
Okay, you just have to keep going every season. You have to do the meetings. You have to. So I, for 2 years, made myself available and flew to this city anytime someone wanted to have a coffee with me so that we could just stay connected. And eventually, and you go to Milan and you just let them loan you something and you shoot it. And next time you'll go to the show, right? So we did that for 4 seasons because that's the game. You just got to play. Yeah. But then I see Sally over here and this is her first time in Milan. And somehow she's sitting front row. She doesn't have more followers than me. She doesn't have better engagement than me.
Doesn't.
But she's got the vibes.
She's got the vibes. She's got
and
the
look. Vibes are, what are the vibes?
They're probably not Black.
Yes.
And if they are Black, then there's also a sense of palatability. And I
Absolutely.
talk about myself about that all the time. I talk about a palatability because I know that I'm invited into spaces because I'm perceived as a palatable Black person. Mm-hmm. But then if you get to know me,
you absolutely are not.
I'm not. I'm like, you should not trust anything that I say.
Gotcha.
I know. It is really a gotcha moment. They're like, oh, she's actually not quiet
like,
or
oh no,
like humbled. I'm like, no, I'm not. I actually
wrong one.
I'm the wrong one. But I have this conversation. I know exactly what's happening at the same time. Because I've also worked in magazines, and I also know these conversations that people are having in these rooms. Mm-hmm. And the way that I kind of looked at it was like. I don't know how else to put it, but that is something that I've seen and have observed. It is a short-sightedness. Mm-hmm.
My first interaction with them should have told me everything I needed to know.
What happened?
But I was so eager. So we're in Paris. This is my first time in Paris. Mm-hmm. Well, not my first time in Paris, but for Fashion Week.
Yeah.
And this is like us having a breakfast meeting just to like see if they want to work with us.
Yeah.
And by us, it was like 2 other girls.
Okay.
And my my manager.
Okay.
And so she's like, okay, tomorrow come down. We're going to have breakfast with this PR company and like see what they think of us and if they're interested. So we come down, we eat our breakfast, and the lady who I had the final meeting with, she's like talking to us and she's like, okay, kind of telling us what she thinks she can help us with.
Okay.
And like what the strategy would be if we come on. And it's so subtle, but I was like, what? Am I the only one who heard that? So she like looks at one of the girls and she's like, okay, I know exactly what we can do with you. Like I know the brands you can work with, like love your accent, blah, blah, blah.
Were they Black?
Yes.
Okay.
These are like, great thing. This is what we're going to do. And she's like, and you guys, like, this is what we can do with you. Like very like androgynous, cool style. We could do blah, 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 blah. She looks at me and she's like, I have to figure out what we're going to do with you. She's like, you're just so American.
Oh my God.
And I was like, true, I have just flew from America. That is correct.
Wow.
She's like, yeah, I just don't know what do we, and she's talking to me like I'm trying to think of a strategy, like not shade. She's like, I'm literally like twiddling my thumbs here. I'm like, she's like, yeah, maybe we'll go through like, the Saks and the Nordstrom and like get through to the brands that way. Yeah. She's like, cause I just don't know. You're just so, she probably said it 5 times. You're just so American. And mind you, the people I'm with
are from America.
Are from America, but we're also not dressed vastly different, or our styles aren't, like some people are just very different in styles. We all pretty much shop at the same places, like so I'm literally like looking around like okay, and I'm thinking, okay, maybe it's the short hair, but I also
short hair.
I'm literally in my mind thinking what I'm looking at people and I'm like, so what? And I'm like, okay, well, I don't have an accent, so
Yeah.
That you got me there.
Yeah.
But then the other people all have something. And now when I talk about this to people, I always say, well, I'm just regular black.
I'm obsessed with
and
you.
That's what it is. I'm just regular black. I'm not from another country.
Right.
I'm, I don't have a thing.
Yeah. This is what it is.
Which is basically what she was saying.
No.
She's like, yeah, I just don't know.
I've had a lot
with
of
like eyes wide, like, I just don't know.
Was
like,
she French?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm like, yeah, me either. I got. What are we gonna do, girl?
No, but I it's not something that I can help. And it's not. I understand what you're trying to say, but you're not saying it, and it was so.
And
loaded.
There's nothing I can do with this information.
Exactly. I'm like, I'm American, and there's tons of American girls that are working, and there are tons of American.
Yeah,
girls
she was like, maybe you can like spend some time in Paris. Maybe you can like some girls like will come and stay a few months, and
that's why Emily in Paris always bothered me.
Mm-hmm.
That show. I was always like, this is a little podunk.
But like, why is this the right way?
No, exactly. I was just like, I always so annoyed by that show because I was like, oh my God. Because it's like, it's probably, she's so American, but she was so widely accepted and loved and all these things. But we all know why.
Yeah.
So when you had these harrowing experiences, what did you, how do you pick yourself back up? Because I know when I feel very defeated by fashion, I tend to distance myself.
Yeah, I did.
But I feel like you're in it, but you were in it maybe on your terms or like, okay.
That's exactly what I did. So that was the last time I went to Paris. I think one more time I went to Milan after that because I did have a better experience. I did feel like the things I was doing and the strategies I did implement were getting me somewhere.
Yeah.
Where it's like, okay, this time is better than the next time. But I did kind of say, you know what? I'm just going to show love to people that show love to me.
I literally said this the other day.
Because it also took me a minute to just like, there was so much like, you're hitting my confidence.
Yes.
You're like, I feel like that took me probably a whole year just to like
be
confident in the things I like.
Yeah.
And not be thinking like, well, is this too much? Is this cool?
Yeah.
Is this...
No, I get you.
And not trying to be a thing, like literally not thinking like, well, if the brand, if a brand looks at my page, is that going to feel like their vibe?
Yeah,
is this going to feel like, am I going to feel too American? That probably took a year. So now we're in 2023. And then I was just like, I'm just going to focus on the brands that have been, I'll still do the things, but very intentionally.
Yeah.
And go to the places. The schedule looks very different. I'm like, you don't even need to reach out to them. It's been 3 years. They never invited me. We don't need to ask.
Right.
If someone happens to find me, great.
Right.
But I'm not going to be a dead horse here. So, and that takes away the disappointment, which is just like healthy for me to like be here and enjoy it and not feel like, oh, no one wants me. We didn't reach out, so we'll never know.
Listen, I absolutely hear you and I understand completely because I feel like in a lot of ways I have been very vocal about anxiety and around fashion and like and what it can cause you and like that the letdown of that is so weird. It's
so weird.
And
it seems so silly.
Honestly,
but this is our thing.
I know.
This is my art to the world. This is how I express myself. This is what I love. And you're like, could you just do it differently? Could you just do it like her?
Yeah.
And could you just do it like a little like them too?
Yeah.
Because like what you think it is, it's not.
Exactly. And I feel, and that's why I'm always like, is it enough for me? And I feel like obviously, like, I'm meaning, are the fashion shows and all that kind of stuff like enough for me? And I feel like that's probably, maybe I wonder that's why we both created like
absolutely
shows.
That's exactly where it came from. That was
like,
my last time in Milan. When I came back on the plane, I thought of Style Unlocked.
Period.
Because I was like, this.
Oh, that was 2023.
I was like, this is not it.
Yeah.
And then I had to really think about like my goals and like, am I trying to do the people right that are in the spaces where I'm like, that's where I want to be, right? I want to be at every show. I'm like, are they doing the things I want to do in the grand scheme outside of just making a lot of money and being influencers and every brand wants to work with them? But is that the ultimate goal for me? No, it is not.
Yeah.
So then what is the ultimate goal? And then is going to every fashion week going to get me any closer? No, it is not.
Right.
There's a lot of self-reflection. And I'm like, so then outside of just being competitive and feeling like we deserve it, what's the reason? Nope, that's the only reason.
Yeah.
So maybe we just need to like wash our hands of this. and focus on the goal that's going to get us, or the task that's going to get us like to the actual goals.
Yeah.
And then I had an opportunity to do a television show.
Okay.
Just talking about fashion, and I was like, I'm good at this.
Yeah.
I need to do more of this.
Mm-hmm.
This was easy. This filled me up. I don't feel how I feel when I go in shows and I don't feel wanted.
Right.
Or no one wants to talk to me because I'm in Milan and I'm the only black person here. Or there's another one, but she's from another country and I don't know her. I don't feel that feeling, right?
Yeah.
This felt good. I left. I felt energized. I should be doing more of this.
Right.
That's what made me come up with the show. And just recalibrate how I think about how I can contribute to fashion.
Yeah.
Because what was pushing me was like, oh, I deserve to be there because I need to bring my people the information and I don't want to get it secondhand, and we can find another way to serve them.
Yeah, absolutely. And that rather than just like the coverage, it's like, I think also your show, Style Unlocked, really like proves you as you have a perspective.
Yeah.
Beyond just taking photographs.
Yeah.
And I think that's the most important thing. I love hearing your perspective on things, which I feel like, I don't know. It's
and everyone can't do that. So it's also leaning into like what I can do.
Yeah.
That's my gift.
Yeah.
And the more I did it, I was like, I'm good at this. Why am I not? I should be focused on something else.
I'm glad.
And it's brought me so much joy.
I feel like we're going to have a broader conversation as an industry on fashion and mental health. Like in the next few years. I think people are going to be more honest like you are right now, which by the way is like painstakingly vulnerable, because I think a lot of people like to create a facade that they get into the shows and life is great, everything's fun, I get yes, loan, and it's not like that.
It's not like that.
Yeah,
it's so much effort.
It's a lot of effort
and so much money.
It's
so much money. Like it actually infuriates me when I think about it. But everything needs to happen the way it's supposed to happen. But it's just like,
no, I hear you.
I could have bought an investment property.
I could definitely bought an investment property.
But I have memories.
Like, exactly. I'm like, oh my God, the amount of, purchases that I've made just to look a certain way or to feel like I belong. And I feel like that type of pressure always eats at me when I'm like, I hit place the order. But, I
hate when the strategy doesn't strategy,
I agree.
Where I'm like, this was supposed to be the way.
Exactly.
You said this was the system.
And they're like,
but does any system work for us?
I mean, and that's why we have to create our own stuff. And I think especially now, I feel like it's going to be wild to see. I'm really curious about like influencing post anti-DEI initiatives and what's going to happen now. Have you felt an impact, or have you felt like you've created a business that kind of
circumvents a little bit?
Yeah,
a little. And only because I prioritized long-term partners and like just very thoughtful partners a while ago. So I don't work with, I don't do that many one-offs, which is a luxury. That's a huge privilege. But I'm sure we all will.
Yeah.
Like right now, I think I feel probably just like the saturation of this industry. But that's also why I have the other things.
Yeah.
I'm never going to make this my main income or my only income.
Yeah.
Because it's just like I have no control.
We have no control.
So I have to do all the things, all the streams.
I've been thinking about that more and more, but like I'm just a tired woman. So I just like, I mean, I have the podcast and I have like, the Substack, and I should have the TikTok, and it's just like, it's a lot. So when I see people like you, I really have a deep admiration for you being able to like, to really pour into all these different avenues. But I think to your point,
but it's like, always something always has to give.
Right.
And that's just what it is.
Yeah.
Like this week, my TikTok is just giving.
Okay.
Not posting on it.
I'm not on TikTok anymore.
You know what? Because I'm vlogging.
Yeah.
I'm taking pictures.
I like your lives in your closet.
Oh yeah, I love that.
Those are
fun. Those are the things that just bring me joy. That implementing more of that stuff. Where I'm like, hey, my thought was I want to do a second video a week.
Okay.
But I don't got it.
Yeah.
I was like, I can't. I edit Style Unlocked. I edit my YouTube regular page.
You edit Style Unlocked?
Yes, I know. We can.
I think maybe we should.
I'm very passionate about it.
I understand.
So I was like, I don't have anything else to give.
Yeah.
And I was like, let's just do live.
Yeah.
Once I'm done, I'm done. It's up. You can go back and watch it.
Right.
But there's no more labor.
Right.
More labor for me.
Yeah.
So.
I feel you. I want to get into, because I believe that you have a really great perspective on fashion. I want to get into some fashion hot topics.
Ooh.
Okay, I want to get the tea.
Yeah.
I think right now we are in a real moment of change in fashion.
Yeah.
Iconic brands are closing.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's actually really sad.
It is.
To see like Mara Hoffman go, Y Project, Interior.
I'm devastated
left.
by Y Project, and I know you're devastated about Mara Hoffman.
I
feel like if we were brands, those would be the brands. We are.
We're like, what the hell?
Yeah.
No, it really was. It was very depleting. I understand that Glenn Martin's has another opportunity, but I mean, what do you think comes next in the broader fashion industry in terms of how can we support brands so they don't feel so depleted or feel like they don't have like support and avenues to
I feel like
keep going?
I feel like we really, and this is on the brand side, like we really need to be shopping brands directly.
DTC.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
I think that way they get the most money.
Right.
But also then how do they create an environment where you want to do that?
Yeah.
That's the problem is like there's perks to shopping different places, which is why people do, or the shipping is faster, or you just get to see more things. But like I feel like what some stores are doing, and specifically I think of like Jacquemus in the store she was talking about. Yeah. Kwame Adusei.
Okay.
Is like having these experiences storefront.
Mm-hmm.
Like his store is a vibe. Jacquemus' store is right where it's like you want the experience. I think about like the Webster, like stores that like create this experience where you want to go in and shop is kind of what needs to happen, which takes a lot of capital.
Yeah.
But even like, how do you make experiences online where it's like, do we get a perk, or how are you competing with the, you know, multi-brand outlets?
Yeah.
Because it's so important. Because
I agree.
I don't want to see.
No, I think you're
so
great.
sad.
I agree with that because I do think that people sit on they sit on product and they can't.
Yeah.
And so it's like we do need to be buying directly from these places.
Yeah, and as much as it's a good look to be sold at a multi-brand, it's really not a huge benefit.
Right.
I think lack of honesty around that also. Mm-hmm. Like, and like personal brands being personable. Mm-hmm. I don't think of a lot, like, there's certain brands, like, we don't know the people behind some of these brands like we know a Fenty behind Rihanna. Right. Or Rihanna behind Fenty. Or just certain brands where it's like you feel pulled in, where you are like, I want to support. Not because I have to, like, she doesn't need my money, but I feel like I know her why behind this brand, or I know what's driving her. I mean, I honestly feel like Mara Hoffman did that really well.
Yes, she did. She really did. She really
Where I felt like I was shopping her brand because I knew her. And like, she was the woman of her brand. Exactly. And like, I could see her when I was looking at pieces.
Yeah.
I'd love more of that. I feel like that's a good way to get people like bought in. That's the thing.
No, I agree. I completely agree. I think that we do need to have that type of personal connection, to labels.
Which is a lot more than a lot of people want to give, I get.
I know, because
I think that's the new wave.
That's on top of having to put out collections and
do your actual job.
Do your actual job. You have to be kind of a personality.
Yeah.
But people buy into the
that's where we are.
I think that's exactly where we are. Like, I mean, I buy into Daniel Rosenberry. I'm like, I love you.
And I think we're also pulling away from a lot of the bigger brands. So it is an opportunity if you can create that organic enthusiasm. Yeah. Because we relate to you, or we're enthralled with you, or we just think you're interesting. And then you have these other things. Yes. Jacquemus does that very well.
Jacquemus does do that well. I think
he does a little bit of everything. Yes. He's a little bit with the celebs, a little bit with like making the runways cool, and then the store is interesting, and then there's like, you know, these key pieces that really just make all the money for him. Yeah. But he does just enough of everything. Yeah. He's always like on our radar.
Did you have any strong opinions about his collection recently? Because people were like, it's an Elia dude.
Oh, it's just, we're making money, honey.
So okay.
He's just like, he's like, yeah, I'm doing what works.
Okay. Because the girls were like.
But you know what?
What?
This was probably the collection I liked the most things out of.
Well, you know what, T? I did. I was like, oh my God, this is so beautiful.
Literally.
And like, it's such a fantasy, and I think there was such incredible casting, and the space, the environment, all of it.
Yeah, like everything else leaned on location and vibes. This, I was like, oh my God, I love that. Oh my God. Usually I don't like the pieces. Right. I like the vibes. Yeah. And it just makes me, think of him fondly and think of the brand. But I was like, Oh, yeah, but I was also like, ooh, that's giving a little Scaparelli. Oh, that's giving a little Elia. Oh, that's giving... But also, if I can get Elia at a Japanese price point...
I was just about to say, if I could get Elia at a discounted rate, then we might have
If you can
something.
give me that for a little $750 instead of $3,000.
Wow, I know.
So, I don't know.
No, I get that. I really do.
He's very much... he understands this is a business almost before the art. No shade to like it not being art, but like I have shareholders.
No, I hear that
and
because
we need to sell the things.
That's what I think. A lot of creatives aren't given enough of the tools and the resources to be great business people because of obviously they're in art school and like they're learning the craft, and it's like, but you also have to learn the books.
Yeah.
And he definitely knows the books.
Yeah.
And he knows how to get the girls in the seats. So if people want to talk about him. The proof is in the pudding.
Yeah.
I know.
He's going to have a fragrance soon.
Is he?
He just did a partnership with L'Oreal.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. Cosmetics, too. Listen, he's not playing around. And I'm not even like a stan like that. But it's just when you think about somebody who's
he's
like...
He's just a good case study.
Yeah. He's just like, it's up. It's literally up.
It's up right now. Okay, I want to do one more hot topic, and then I don't want to let you go. She's on to the next. She's on to the next fashion week escapade. I would want to know a little bit about your thoughts on the impact of AI on fashion, because I feel like the taste economy right now, it feels like a human touch is the last thing that you can't take away from you. I can't put it to ChatGPT. Make me look like Jenee Naylor. You know, like you have to have your own sense of taste and style, and like that's you know. So I'm just curious what you think the impact of AI will be on influencing.
Honestly, I don't know, but here's what I'm hoping for.
What?
I'm hoping we all rage against the machine.
Oh, okay.
That's what I'm hoping.
Okay, let's go.
Like that I feel like I'm slowly seeing people like get back into magazines and like want to have a tangible real thing and want to hear from actual writers and like people that have an artistic expression. I'm hoping we're just like, you know what, enough. Enough. I think we all just found out ChatGPT is like terrible for the environment or something like that.
I mean, it's bad for our brains, but yes.
It's something about like
it is.
I'm in information overload right now. But it's something with like how it processes the information. Something is
Google bad. It. Okay, I will. I'm sure it's bad. I'm sure it's evil.
But like worse than people thought, where people are now like, I don't want to use it anymore. Like, I'm sorry I recommended to use it.
Wow.
Because
okay.
So I'm just, that to me is like hopefully signaling, let's all come back to reality. Like, it's great to have tools.
It is.
But we're not following AI influencers to be inspired for our style. That's insane.
I don't want your avatar. I want you. You know, like I want to know what Jenee thinks, and that's
And I take the social aspect of social media very seriously and literally.
Yeah, conversation.
I tell people, I'm like, what are we talking about?
Mm-hmm.
That's me. Mm-hmm. That's you. When I post a caption, what are we talking about? It's not just, I look cute today. Hey, last night, here's the fit. What are we talking about? Because I don't want you in my comments with 2,000. You look so cute.
I agree.
I'm so grateful. I appreciate it.
Agree.
I do.
I agree.
But I knew I looked cute when I put the outfit on. And what are we talking about? That doesn't build community with me just saying, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.
No, I agree.
Or is this a trend I'm wearing? Is it on sale? Did I do a roundup for you? Am I helping you? What are we talking about? So I'm hoping that people still care about that aspect.
Yeah.
Because I do. I look at people's captions and I'm like, what are you talking about? Nothing.
I mean, captions have become, but some people don't even post with captions. Which I also think is kind of cool. I'm like,
you're that listen,
you that bitch if you can post.
But also, then you're making it what you want it to be. That's what you are getting out of social media. For me, the whole point was that we have a dialogue, and that's my job.
Yeah.
Right. My job is to be of service to the people that follow me. So I'm like, if I'm not talking about anything, then you can't talk to me, and then it deflates me. Like, that doesn't inspire me.
Yeah.
Because that's also how I get the next idea and, like, how I keep coming up with more, creative strategy. Yeah.
I love a feedback loop. I feel like I was just talking to my producer about this and just, like, about the show and the impact. I think it's like, how can I get more of that in real time? And so
it's talking.
Yeah.
It's like, literally, we have to be having a conversation. Here's how this went today, or here's a show. What did you think? Or here's my favorites. And, like, this was my takeaway. Oh, yeah, I saw the... What are we talking about?
What are we talking about?
I don't just want to... Because it doesn't excite me to get online.
It's more of a...
if I don't have people to respond to or interact with, or...
Yeah, it's a drag to get online right now because it's like your brain is pulled in so many different places.
Yeah.
And like, one moment I'm looking at a show and the next minute I'm looking at, like...
I know. And it's like, my job, this little part of the internet is to serve a purpose, and like, we got to be talking about something.
Okay.
So that's my hope.
I like that. I really do. I like an analog, let's have a conversation.
Yeah. Like, when I just did, I think, my last live, and people were like, oh, well, what magazines do you like? I feel like more people are like, I want to get off of the internet. And it's like, I'm on the internet. I don't want them to not be there. But I also am like,
I hear you.
There's not, everything you need is not there.
I agree.
And it shouldn't be your only source.
I completely agree. It's like, read a book, touch some grass.
Walk down the street.
Go
in a museum.
Please. Like, read a newspaper.
Yeah.
I mean, or just talk to your neighbor. Like, even that in and of itself is a lot. So I like this. Let's rage against the machine. I love that you said that.
I know. So 90s.
No, it's pretty fucking punk rock, I think. Shit. That's what I think it is. Oh, you're a disruptor. You're a disruptor.
I have layers.
You do, and I love finding out more of them. To close out, what can we expect from you moving forward? Are you going to be on the new season of Real Housewives of Potomac? Like, what is, like... Wouldn't you be good on Potomac?
I would not. You would hate me.
Why would I hate you?
Because I would be so boring.
Where is that near you, though?
Yes, it's very near me.
Okay, I think you could do it, because that girl Kierna was in D.C. and she was on it.
I've been approached.
What else
it's not
going on?
It's a no. It's a hell no.
Girl, I could totally see this.
I would be so boring. As soon as someone is arguing, I'm leaving. I'm getting. Let me. You know what?
Wouldn't.
Get my bag.
No, you wouldn't.
As soon as we're not making sense, and I'm like, we're like just like irrational conversations, I would be like, oh no, I gotta go. Oh no, I gotta go. Or I would just be like
bring
this.
The car around. We are leaving.
You know what? Oh, we having an emergency.
I would love you to go like to a show with Giselle or something.
No,
like
see, I wouldn't do that.
That would be so
I can't stand things that don't make sense.
I can see you and Wendy being friends.
I can see that.
Like, you guys are both fashion girls.
And she's smart and sensible.
She's very smart.
But she also, like, will still, and I'm sure she knows the role she's playing. So it's like, you still have to entertain the nonsense. I do not have the capacity.
I think you do.
Because I am a person who gets, like, irrationally upset when things don't make sense or things aren't fair.
Okay, so yeah, you probably would be mad a lot.
Exactly.
Because you'd be like, you can't just say that to a person.
Or I'd be like, no, that doesn't make sense. Yeah. And I'd be like, no, she didn't say that. Hello? Are we going to tell the truth?
I feel like you might be really good. I don't know. I'm just putting it out there. And if you're on there next season, because Karen Huger's, she's gone. We need a replacement.
But also, everyone gets divorced, so that's another reason I wouldn't
very
be
true.
On there.
It's horrible on the marriage and the mental health. But if maybe you're a friend of.
Yeah.
Tea.
Cheers. That'll be me. I'll be a dinner.
I'll be exactly in a look.
Let me be a +1. Yeah. Who's that fabulous woman? Oh, don't worry about me.
Don't worry about me. I'm just.
I'll be how Marlo was.
Exactly before. Yeah, she was unhinged.
Well, we just all loved her.
We all loved Marlo, and then she just like went rogue, and we're like, well, keep that in the closet. But seriously, what is going on with you that you are excited about? That's coming up next.
Style Unlocked season 4.
When is that coming back?
Probably April.
Okay, amazing.
I'm thinking we're gonna have a Fashion Week episode actually filmed the other day, so that'll be out Friday. Actually, I don't know when this will be out. Okay, but so that'll be out now probably.
This will be out like next week.
Oh yeah, so you can watch the Style Unlocked New York Fashion Week Roundtable, which is out now. We're going over the Grammys red carpet, haute couture in Paris, and some Black History fashion.
Period.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then my brand.
What's this?
My brand is coming. It's called 12 p.m. Studios. You're the first to know. You're literally the first to know. And it should be out May.
Okay. I hope
Which is the perfect time for
I'm
it.
excited. No, it's 12 p.m. signifies
12 is my wedding anniversary,
Okay.
the 12th day of January.
Love.
And PM is my mother's
Oh.
initials. Phyllis
Beautiful.
Moore.
Shout out to Phyllis. I met her.
Fabulous.
And it's accessories. It's ready to wear.
It's accessories.
Okay.
But yeah,
it's
because we want to keep it open.
Yeah. I'm loving it. I love that I got the exclusive.
She's like Oprah.
Girl, please. I love Oprah's
She's
money.
going to dig.
She moving to Italy, so I could take
Is
her.
she?
I think that's just rumors on the internet. But
you wouldn't know.
I would know. I know I'm so chronically online. It's a shame. This is so exciting. I can't wait to try on a pair of these sunglasses and for all the girls to have them.
I'm excited.
And this is major. This is like how you do it, because it's like, okay, well, if TikTok has a ban and you want to be anti-DEI, then I'll make my own shit.
Yeah.
And
realizing like how much you sell for other people.
You do.
I realized that this year.
Yeah.
The affiliate linking systems have to be more transparent, so they share more information now. And when that information was accessible to me, I was shocked. I was gagged.
Well, like LTK.
About how much I like sell. Because all you used to see is the commission.
Right, exactly.
And it'd be like, oh, yeah, that's a cute little money.
Yeah.
But now you see the actual amount of just like, oh, sales this week. One week I looked and it was like $40,000.
But you were only seeing a small
I might get $800.
percentage. Oh, my God.
And people think like, you just want to give me a link so you can be rich. Honey, baby, it's the last thing that's going to get me rich.
You're like, that's like a grocery bill.
I literally am getting 0.05% of that link.
That's so crazy.
Yeah, and I was like, yeah, no. I mean, obviously, I'll still give you the links because it's helpful.
Yeah.
But that's crazy.
Wow.
You don't realize. And I'm not like even a huge linker like that.
Right. Yeah, you don't have like
I share very intentionally. So I'm like,
I purchase things from your Amazon
thanks.
page.
I'm just here to be a resource.
You are.
But I'm like,
I purchased.
I gotta put me first.
No, I hear you, and I I really appreciate this. After the Target collab, I felt like I wonder what's happening with product.
Yeah,
and this just makes more sense.
Yeah,
it
was good learning because that was such a full process.
Yeah,
that I got to be involved with every part.
Yeah,
so it was like,
now you have all this.
Love learning on someone else's dime.
I was just about to say, I was like, use them like they use you.
Yeah,
I get you.
It was great.
I guess I have to let you go. I don't really want to let you go.
I'm so sorry.
But we have one last hook of a question.
Okay.
We ask our guests this question. In the spirit of your favorite auntie, what is a piece of advice that you would give to the children that they need to listen to?
I love this new edition.
Okay.
Of the show.
Yeah,
I love
Auntie
this.
Jenee.
I love it. Oh, let's see. Piece of advice I would give. I always say that I'm never letting a random person stop me from being happy. So you can take that anywhere into any scenario. But mostly people are like, how are you so confident online? Or how do you do? I'm never going to let a troll, a random person I don't know. This life, I can't believe I get to live it.
Yeah.
You think they're going to stop me? I'm going to stop posting? Because that person I don't know?
Right.
Never. That's crazy to me.
I love that.
But I think that's in every scenario.
Yeah.
The random person at work, you go home, you're not going to think about them. Or you leave that job, you're never going to see them again.
Never.
Or somebody you went to high school with. Please.
School.
Like, you're embarrassed because someone, I never thought about, oh my God, is there a group chat? And they're like talking about, I don't give a shit.
Listen, I feel that deeply.
Yeah.
I feel that deeply. I appreciate
this
that.
This is it, y'all. This is it. You deserve to be happy. You actually deserve to be your most happy. That is my goal every day.
Especially right now.
How happy can I be? What's going to bring me the most joy?
What's going to bring you the most joy today?
This. I'm literally only doing things that bring joy today. But that's honestly my mood for the whole week.
Fashion week.
Yeah.
I like that. Just go to stuff that brings you joy. It doesn't turn you into a psychopath.
I'm like, hey, don't rush. Take it easy, sister. Do the things that are going to bring you joy.
I love that. Thank you.
Thank you.
I don't want to let you go, but thank you so much. You'll come back again.
Yeah.
You know?
I love talking.
I Well, that's it for this week, BBs. Thank you so much for listening, and I hope you loved this conversation as much as I did. If you want to show your aunties some love, be sure to subscribe, share this episode with your community, and leave us a review in the App Store. It makes a world of difference. Until next time, Auntie sends her love. If you enjoyed this episode and want to help support the podcast, please subscribe and leave a rating and review. To stay up to date with Auntie and all my shenanigans, you can follow me on Instagram at Your Favorite Auntie Show and at Marjon_Carlos, and on TikTok at Your Favorite Auntie Show. If you want more Auntie pro tips in between episodes, please subscribe to our Substack newsletter, Notes from Auntie's Desk. It makes a world of difference.